Up through the gears they go, to speed as they enter turn one.
Hemrick didn't need a pusher. He just accelerated and drove away from him. Oh,
hard
contact.
into the wall already. The 7 and the 20. Two of the main contenders for the championship.
And Cole Custer, Cindric.
Allgaier got loose, got into the back of the 20. Allgaier into the wall. The 20 also major damage.
Here's a replay right here. 7 and the 20, side by side. The 7 just gets loose, goes up the track, makes contact with Christopher Bell. Bell backs it in the wall. Look at that hard contact for the 22.
Getting ready for the restart. This time it's Hemrick and Brandon Jones on the front row.
Brandon Jones on the outside. He's able to enter side by side with Hemrick.
Tift making it 3 wide. He goes to the high side through 1. That Tift in the 2. Little speedy dry, and Brandon Jones hits the wall.
Wow.
Hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Tyler Reddick in the 9 also with an issue.
Keep it up there.
Caution coming out again.
Keep it up there. Keep it up there. Slow down here so we can get to pit road.
Came out of turn 2. You saw the speedy dry that was trailing back behind the car. That's what they put down to make sure all of the fluid is off the racetrack.
If you're Daniel Hemrick, you're like, all right, I see that he changed his line, so I must be doing something right running that top. Now he's having to look around because the top's not working no more.
And behind these guys, Reddick has gotten by Tiff for 6th position.
Guys that are in the top 10 right now that are running in the playoffs, Sadler, Reddick, and Tift running 5th, 6th, and 7th. So big points for all of the playoff contenders that have been able to make it into the top 10 coming out of turn 4. And the winner of stage 1 is Daniel Hemrick. Back up through the gears they go.
Nemechek with a really good restart. He is going to be door to door with Hemrick into 1.
For the lead, John Hunter Nemechek surging ahead as they go through 1 and 2. And Nemechek takes the lead away from Hemrick.
I feel like that was really his only opportunity. I don't know if he had a good enough race car to pass Hemrick under green flag. So on that restart, I think he knew that. I think he knew he needed to be aggressive, and he took that restart. That's a great drive off of turn 2 for running the bottom for Hemrick. That shows you how good his car is. He almost driving up on the 42 with the draft down the back straightaway. Look at him driving to 3.
And Nemechek missed the bottom right there. The middle of the racetrack's not where you want to be. You want to commit to the bottom or the top. It's going to give Hemrick a run.
Man, John Hunter Nemechek has not had a good lap there. Gave up a lot of time and possibly the position down into turn 1. He's going to fight on that outside.
It'll be hard for Hemrick to pull this pass off. So much momentum on the outside.
See him have to lift real quick. All that momentum lost. He was maintaining until he had to lift real quick right on that corner exit.
So you see there, Nemechek just went to the top. He didn't mess around with the middle. He went all the way to the top. Smart recovery, smart move. Mistake the corner before. He fixed it, and now he drove back away from Hemrick.
And the caution will come out just before the end of stage 1. Some shrapnel coming off of the 18 now. You see the damage to the back.
And that damage is significant.
There's a 1 of Garrett Smithley.
Talk so much about the 9. Well, maybe that moment kind of saved him. He got him back here, and look at the 18. He's at the bottom. What he thinks is 2 wide, and then it turns into 3 wide, and they just really come down and get him in the quarter panel, spinning the 18 around.
Something's going on there with a 35 of Joey Gase. I mean, it looked like he just drove up there and just, it just moved him.
Yeah, looking at Joey Gase's car, looks like there's some damage from that.
John Hunter Nemechek wins stage 2. Hemrick has chosen the outside line for the restart. John Hunter Nemechek on the inside.
Nemechek trying to side draft him, slow that momentum down.
Much more aggressive restart, and it's going to get more and more aggressive as we get further into this race. Guys pushing and carrying on. Hemrick going to pull clear off of turn 2.
Now we have seen John Hunter Nemechek behind Hemrick and chasing him down. As you look at Tyler Reddick and the 9 move up to 3rd. Tift is 4th. Shane Lee and the 1 of Elliott Sadler are fighting for that spot.
Elliott Sadler just couldn't carry enough speed getting into the corner and then roll in the middle. Shane Lee on the outside. See Elliott riding along with him. You just barely see the inside car, the inside of Shane Lee. Cleared him into 3. It's in good shape now.
Slowing down to come to pit road. Look at the closing rate the 42 had on him.
Nemechek destroyed Hemrick getting on pit road.
Coming to you, Parker.
And that's what it's all about, Rick, being able to make up time, getting on pit road, nailing your pit road speed here.
Oh, he
slid a little far there. He's backed it up. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. We'll see how much time he loses here. It could be a disaster, though, on the back end, Marty.
And that was somewhat by design from Daniel Hemrick. Remember Dover 2 weeks ago, he got a speeding penalty at the end of stage 2. They felt like they had that race won. He told me, I'm going to back myself down this week to make sure that we're good on pit road. He said a little bit tighter on entry on that run, but he was pretty happy with the car, especially the speed early in the run.
I don't like the timing of the 42, and I don't like the execution of the 42.
There you see the difference. And when you miss your box, that's what happens. They came on pit road side by side. Look at him driving that car sideways across the apron, trying to make up as much time as he can.
Great job on one end. We talked about it. Young drivers making mistakes. We see it all the time. Here he comes, just too much speed, coming in too hot, misses it by 4 inches.
Yeah,
4 inches.
And the 21-year-old, that little mistake. We talked about how this has to be a job interview for John Hunter Nemechek, because we saw Ross Chastain get into this 42 and ran so well, almost won at Darlington, then was able to win at Las Vegas. And now with John Hunter Nemechek behind the wheel, everyone's looking, saying, well, we know this car has the ability to go out and win. What is the ability of the driver? And we see Vinnie Miller stopped on the exit of pit road and heard that they may have just run out of gas. And he's coming off of pit road. That would be difficult to do, but he stalled, and that brings out the caution. And of course, that will also raise the heart rate for some of the crew chiefs, as Danny Stockman, we saw there watching the monitor. He is the crew chief for Daniel Hemrick.
And Rick, with only 6 cars in the lead lap, 14 laps on these tires, I think you have to pit. If you have a set of tires in your pit box, I just don't think, with only 6 cars, the worst you're going to start is 6th on newer tires. I just don't think you can risk, if you're the 21, giving the 42 or the 9 or somebody the chance to have a tire advantage. We'll see what these crew chiefs do, though.
John Hunter was told to follow the 21. If he pits, we pit. He's going to do 4 Goodyear tires here in Sunoco Fuel. And Marty, he was just a little too loose behind the 21.
Tyler Reddick said the car was a little too free taking off there. They're going to go with 4 Goodyear tires. Daniel Hemrick with the same call further up pit road. He said it was just on the splitter taking off. Elliott Sadler with that 2-tire call. He wins the race off pit road. Everybody else on 4 Goodyear tires.
34 laps still to go, and the 42 had to come back to pit road, Parker.
That he did, Rick. Unfortunately, they had left a couple lug nuts loose. It looked like on the left front. It was either 3 or 4 lug nuts loose here. You can see they're on the left front there, and they just go as he's still trying to tighten them there, and it just didn't happen.
And getting ready for the restart. Matt Tift on the outside, Sadler on the inside. Good push coming from the 21. Sadler surging ahead. Daniel Hemrick moves to 2nd.
John Hunter Nemechek on the outside, on the very outside. He needs a good run here to get in position to win this race. Matt Tiff moving out of the way. That was a huge break for Nemechek.
With Hemrick with more speed than Sadler all day long, will he get held up by this one car trying to get by? Will that allow John Hunter Nemechek to get up here and get a little piece of this battle for the lead?
A series of great breaks for Nemechek.
Oh, look at Sadler can't get to the throttle. And you see how Hemrick gets a run.
Going to the outside for the lead. Daniel Hemrick taking it away from Sadler as they go into turn 3.
John Hunter Nemechek on the top. He's going to have a great run on both these guys coming off of turn 4. Man, great work by John Hunter Nemechek in the last few laps to be right where he is. The back bumper of that 21 car.
And once again, the two are battling for the lead. John Hunter Nemechek chasing after Hemrick.
Big run down the back straightaway here. Took 42 car. Really committed to the top on that turn 1 and 2.
Henry changed his line, went to the top in 3 and 4. I think he had to. Nemechek on the bottom.
Middle, 2 lanes down.
Wow, what a battle.
Oh, Hemrick does not have rear grip. Nemechek's going to take the lead here.
He's trying to stay away from him. Back to the quarter panel for the side draft.
And Hemrick up on the high side, now through the middle.
Hemrick's
John
having
Hunter
some trouble.
Nemechek surging ahead.
Oh, he backed up for a crossover. Wow.
Here comes Hemrick on the inside.
Now watch Nemechek. He's going to try to get right on that right rear quarter panel of the 21 and take the air off of it. Look how close he is.
He stays in the middle of the track. Hemrick trying to be in the gas quick. Now here comes Nemechek again on the outside.
Side draft is so important. That's why Hemrick has to chase him up the racetrack.
What a great battle for the lead. Nemechek on the outside. Now Hemrick falls in behind. John Hunter Nemechek out in front.
I didn't see that coming. John Hunter Nemechek that far behind on that restart. What has he done in these last few laps? He's taken over this race.
I thought Nemechek was done because Parker gave a great report about why he could line up, why he lined up. I expected he was going to have to be in the back of the pack. Caught a break with all those pass arounds, and then Hemrick's car just does not look as good as it was early in this race. He's already running 30, running much slower than he did earlier.
What an incredible turn of events it has been for John Hunter Nemechek. It looked as though he had given the race away when he slid into his pit box and just a bit too far, had to back up. Then they had to come back around, tighten lug nuts up. It looked as though the race was gone and not a chance. But John Hunter Nemechek fought. He fought hard on the high side, was able to catch the 21 and then successfully get by. And now John Hunter Nemechek, as he enters turn number 3, looking for his first ever win in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The 21-year-old from Mooresville will win at Kansas.
You earned that one. Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Fire Alarm, for believing in me and all you guys. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, guys. Still want to burn them down.
Major Gatorade and confetti here. John Hunter, for all that your family has put into this, the family Chuck team, hug with Mike Shiplett, what does this mean to you to get this win in the Xfinity Series?
Means a lot, especially at Kansas. In 2004, I forget how old I was, but Dad swept the weekend in the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, so it's pretty special. But just huge thank you to Fire Alarm Services and Chip Ganassi Racing and Chip for giving me this opportunity. Man.
Any other win we've got, baby.
That's the spotter, Derek Nealon there. A hug with Josh Wise, who helps him out. Hey, real quick there, when you slid through the box, did you think you'd given up there? Oh, and a hug from Chip. Chip Ganassi, the owner. Do you think you'd given up?
No, I knew that I had messed up, but I've done that once earlier this year, and Derek told me not to think about it, don't talk about it, just go out there and do your best. And when that caution came, I knew we had a chance, and luckily Daniel and I raced each other hard and clean all day, and we got the track position, and this thing was on rails at the end. So huge thank you to Mike Shiplett and all the guys that worked so hard. I feel like we've been contending for wins all year. We just haven't pulled through. So to check the first one off, that's the hardest one to get. So now hopefully we can go on, and we're racing for an Owners Championship in Homestead, so that's awesome.